Pproteus back for round 2. Playing against Mandark, I suspect Dimir Alchemy. This hand is not going to do it. This hand's not great, but it plays creatures, so I will keep basically anything that's a spell. Oh boy. Well, this is going to be an interesting game. But at least I have the Nest Invaders to blank any edicts. Hopefully that will allow me to get ahead. So generally, Kyrian Ranger turn 1 means no other 1-drops, which means you should cast your thing rather than hold it, because I might be playing it because I kept a hand with no 2-drops. So the turn 1 disfigure is not telling of a handful of removal. Because I played a Kyrian, if I had played an Nettle Sentinel, I would probably assume my opponent has a handful of removal after turn 1 disfigure. And so I'm making that commentary because I have to think about whether or not to cast the Elephant Guide here. But since I draw Burning Tree Emissary, the question of whether or not to cast Elephant Guide is pretty trivial. No, I want to cast Burning Tree Emissary, not get it counterspelled. And then here comes Nest Invader. Nest Invader is not going to get counterspelled either. Opponent is now quite far behind on the board. Okay, there's a disfigure. They're setting up for Echoing Decay. I suspect here, I don't like this. I don't like this at all. I suspect that my opponent is holding up Soul Manipulation. But they could be holding up something more, something less dangerous than that. Just a counterspell, Echoing Decay. I'm going to cast Nettle Sentinel here. And see if they counter it. Counterspell? Sure. Rancor on the Eldrazi spawn to diversify my threats. I'm just hoping to get Elephant Guide down when my opponent's got nothing going on. Okay, opponent Divinations. Plays a tap land, and I guess they're not quite dead. I want to play my land because I know my opponent's going to have these main deck edicts, and I would rather not just get owned by double edict. And I want to have this Eldrazi spawn with nothing on it so that I can sacrifice it to the first edict and not have the first edict be good. Now, Echoing Decay gets a lot worse, although clearly my opponent would have cast Echoing Decay instead of holding up Counterspell, I'm pretty sure. Or even rather than counterspelling the Nettle Sentinel. They know I have nothing in my hand, but they're at 4 and I have a 5/5. So they're going to have to do something. What do they have in their deck that might deal with a 5/5? Doomblade? That's probably it. I guess they could Angler, but nope, no Angler. So, do I think my opponent has Doomblade? My opponent knows I don't have anything there. The Augur hit at Teachings. You can probably see the revealed zone if I do this, so I'm going to leave it like this. So if my opponent has Doomblade, then you know what? I want to tackle everything. My opponent has Doomblade. They Doomblade my Nest Invader. they eat the Eldrazi spawn, and then I get to recast Rancor. But, oh, no. But then they teachings for Echoing Decay. But that's okay if they Doomblade my Nest Invader. This is Doomblade. There's a Doomblade. Okay, that's fine. I mean, it's not great for me, but it's happening. So my opponent gets to eat my spawn, but they take 2, which is really important. So now I'm going to cast the Rancor and put it on... How do I do this? Okay, so opponent might teachings for Doomblade. I guess they can do this all instant speed. So I should think about what I'm doing. I'm going to assume my opponent has another land. If I put the Rancor on the Elephant, opponent teachings for Doomblade. Kills it. I guess I give them an extra out. Teachings for Disfigure if I put it on the Nest Invader. Yeah, I think I put it on the Elephant. I'm not going to play this. Let them think I have a pump spell, although Vines is now out of the question because I could have killed them. So they probably don't think I have a pump spell. And even Mutagenic Growth. Could have played that on the Eldrazi spawn. My opponent was probably assuming, oh, I guess I'm dead. Oh, Angler. That's bad. I wasn't thinking about Angler because I was expecting it last turn instead of Doomblade. But I can understand that he was, as I was saying, he was probably assuming I had a pump spell. That's bad. That's not good. That's not good. I think I'm going to have to play into everything my opponent has now. No, actually, I can't play into... I can't play into Disfigure. I can't play into Teachings because I know about it. I can play into other stuff. So, if I cast the Rancor here on the Nest Invader, then my opponent just Teachings for Disfigure and it kills it. So I think I've lost this game. Okay, Mole Drifter. Yeah, so they did get the Disfigure. Now, if my opponent doesn't cast it here and then I draw Vines, I win the game. So I don't really like that play from my opponent. I don't think it makes a lot of sense at all. Okay, maybe I don't win the game actually. I get 8 power and I hit my opponent down to 3. But this is fairly close to winning the game. So my opponent has to double chump and still takes trample damage. So yeah, my opponent, that was a foolish play, I think. Opponent still has Teachings to Flashback, but Teachings for Disfigure doesn't sound that great. If they have another Angler, that's pretty bad for me. Probe without the kicker. Interesting. Yeah, okay. And there's the Angler. I am so close. Okay, play Kieran. So I have fodder to sack to Edict. That's my opponent's last card, but they have 2 cards in their graveyard that they can use. There's the Edict. Makes sense. I like that play from my opponent. Vines is good because I still have a chance if I draw like a Vault Scourge or a Nest Invader. Burning Emissary could be worse. Could be worse. Do I cast Rancor here? I think I don't. I think my opponent is just going to kill this anyways. Like flashback teachings for Disfigure and then cast Disfigure. Oh, the teaching for Alchemy. Okay, sure. Well, there's definitely an opportunity to get my opponent here. There's the soul manipulation I was talking about. My opponent has 1 interesting card in hand, plus whatever they took off the Alchemy, which I suspect was the preordained, plus whatever they drew for the turn. Edict. That sucks. I think that's game. Yeah, so I just cast my creature and then they Edict. Alright, they got me. That was a close game. I wonder if I made some mistakes, so I will review this one later. I always feel a little iffy playing against Dimir, but super close. Maybe the attack of the spawn into the auger wasn't good. I'm doing okay. How do I want to sideboard? Well, I have 3 young wolves on the board, so they're coming in. I like Ledgewalker, I like Riverboa. Well, actually, maybe I don't want Riverboa. I've already got 2. Riverboa is not that great because it just dies to Disfigure and dies to Echo and Decay. If I manage to make it big, then it's great. Because they don't have like Vapor Snap in this deck, probably not. So, his last challenge deck had a Tragic Slip in it. But, general, with all the disfigures and stuff, if I put 2 spells onto the Riverboa, then my opponent has to spend 2 spells to get rid of it. And that's pretty excellent. And then another concern is protection from blue creatures. And to get around those, I want the Vault Scourge to do that. I don't like Gut Shot. Mutagenic Growth is great in this matchup. This is the reason why I'm playing them. I didn't draw any last game, but they would have been great. If I can just change any one of my draws, any one of my forests, except for the first 2, into a Mutagenic Growth, I win the game. What should I side out in this matchup? Like, 3 Vault Scourges is a lot. It is a lot. So maybe I want to get rid of that. Vines is mediocre. Rancor is mediocre. As long as I've got the Ledgewalker. I'm going to say I don't want this. I'm going to cut 1 Rancor and 1 Vault Scourge. This hand is pretty bad. Doesn't have a 1-drop. Burning Emissary is good. It's what you want in the no 1-drop hands, but it also doesn't have a 2-drop. I don't get a scry. I've got to mulligan this. Oh no. Oh dear. I have to mulligan this too. I will keep this hand, scry that to the top, and I will probably play Naked Riverboa on turn 2. And Naked Riverboa is fine because it just dies to disfigure like a normal Riverboa. I want to hope my opponent kept a slow hand and try to crush them with 6 power on turn 2. Vidalian Zombie. Wow. I guess this is going to be pretty tough. I mean, I could cast Hunger, but without a Rancor, that's not going to get me very far. Opponent can't play an island or my Riverboat starts to attack, so that's not nothing. It may result in them missing land drops. They missed on the Augur. Aqueduct returned. A swamp, which indicates they want to start casting creatures. So I'm interested in double hunger because double hunger allows me to actually attack, where I can make multiple creatures that can attack into Vidalian Zombie. I mean, I could just attack with all 3. Excuse me. I could just attack with all 3, and then hunger a creature that the zombie blocks, and then regenerate the Riverboa. Or I could even hunger the creature that the Augur blocks and regenerate the Riverboa. I kind of just want to save my hungers. Okay, I like Rancor. I'm going to cast a Rancor here. If my opponent has an instant speed removal spell, I'm going to go hunger, and I get to start attacking. This is pretty dangerous. Alright, hunger resolves, or Rancor resolves. I get to start attacking. Teachings. Teachings for Disfigure. Yep. Cast Hunger here. I should have put it on the Nettle Sentinel. That was bad. I'm basically allowing myself to get 2 for 1 because I have no recourse. I can't deal with this. I don't have a plan. Maybe I just have to wait for a Ledgewalker and then try to win the game off the Ledgewalker at this point. That sounds reasonable. but I'm not at all hopeful about this game. Yeah, that's not good. Okay, I like vines. So one thing I can do is just go Ranker on the Vault Scourge, or on the Vault Scourge, on the Nettle, or really either creature, so that I have something that can block it and block the Angler. And if my opponent tries to remove it in response, then I get to bind, saving it. Putting it on the Nettle Sentinel because if the Carrion Mage dies, then the Nettle Sentinel gets kind of bad. Although, I guess I would mainly want the Nettle Sentinel at this point for blocking, but I intend to cast Hunger, or at least I'll consider casting Hunger. I probably shouldn't. Probably should not cast Hunger. My opponent can't really attack because then I get to attack with my Nettle Sentinel and then untap it. Now I have Vines up. So my goal is just to make this go long. Try to draw a Ledgewalker and then defend it. I'm very unlikely to win this game. This attack indicates my opponent has something good. Another Augur. Yeah, that's pretty good. They can trade now both Augurs for Nettle Sentinel. They missed on that Augur. Things are not going well for my opponent, and if I had also they did discard Shrivel to Forbidden Alchemy. Things are not going well for my opponent, and if I had had a reasonable hand, I would have won this game by now. Instead, I had a bad hand, and add that to the zombie, and things are not looking good. Pit Skulk is something that can attack past the zombie, so pretty happy about this one. Yeah, I just want to trade for the Angler. Yeah, I like that. I like that. And then Pit Skulk, Hunger Vines. Play the land. Pit Skulk. Hunger. I'm gonna bluff something here. Is my opponent locking in removal, or are they slow rolling me? Not sure what to think here. Doomblade meets Vines. This is gonna be counterspelled or something. Alright, yeah, this game is now out of my reach. Well, I guess I can still draw Ledgewalker. Do I want to trade Kyrian Ranger for Augur of Bolas? I think I'm willing to do that, but I don't want to trade Rancor for a removal spell. So I'm just going to play the Emissary and pass. I'll untap a land. So we've got Flashback Alchemy. Discarding a Vidalian Zombie and a Doomblade. Is that right? No. Just these three. Discarding Vidalian Zombie. So them taking something that's better than Vidalian Zombie is not good for me. It's not good for me. That was probably what they took. That's a problem. They still have the teachings in the graveyard. So if I go Rancor on the Kyrian Ranger trying to get it to block the Angler, then they just cast teachings for Disfigure or something like that. Oh. Alright, well, I guess I am going to cast Rancor on the Kyrian Ranger. I don't want them taking my Rancor, mainly. I want the Rancors to survive. Okay, yeah, I guess I'm dead now. They're casting Muldrifter instead of Teachings. I mean, Muldrifter is pretty good. I guess I attack, because if I don't attack, I lose. Okay, in this situation, mutagenic growth isn't good. Alright, don't figure it out. See you next round.